KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E Fueling Excellence, McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, multiple complaints of sexual harassment results in a longtime prosecutor being kicked off court property. Plus, the Chamorro Land Trust Commission holding off on renewing any new leases as the AG continues its own investigation into the awarding of prime property in Barrigada Heights. And a new report released by bond rating company Moody's describes the ongoing litigation between DFS and the airport.
Hafade Guam, and good evening. Thanks so much for watching or streaming us tonight, because we begin with news from the judiciary of Guam as a man is out of a job tonight after being escorted off court grounds. KUAM News has been able to confirm that longtime ethics prosecutor Bruce Bradley was terminated on Monday after multiple sexual harassment complaints were made against him. According to his bio, the ethics prosecutor is responsible for screening, investigating, and prosecuting complaints alleging misconduct by members of the Guam Bar and Guam's judicial officers. He's held that position since the year 2007. The courts and the Guam Bar have yet to provide comment on this issue. Elsewhere tonight, the administration is refuting allegations made in a complaint their former communications director, Troy Torres, filed with the Office of the Attorney General. KUAM News did obtain a copy of the claim against the government complaint, wherein Torres is seeking up to $1 million in damages, as well as a personal apology from the governor, the lieutenant governor, member of the LT staff, and the current communications director. Now, Torres, who was also former campaign manager for the Rodriguez and Cruz gubernatorial campaign, contends his arrest last month at his Laddie Heights home was politically motivated and claims he was unlawfully detained. He, along with others, were arrested on drug charges and released the next day, being given a notice to appear in court in the year 2021. Torres has since admitted to using drugs during his time working at Adaloop. He's now claiming the arrest and events that followed him caused irreparable financial and social hardship. In response, the administration tells KUAM News, and I quote, "We have not received a copy of the complaint and continue to refute the misinformation put out by the political operative of a gubernatorial campaign who is admittedly undergoing drug therapy and subject in an ongoing criminal investigation." A government claim, they write, requesting an apology speaks for itself. That statement again from Adaloop. Now, the Office of the AG, previously mentioned, is confirming the complaint is under review, and for the time being, Troy Torres is neither confirming nor denying that he reportedly had a meeting with the FBI on Monday.
In other news, what did Jeremiah Isizaki mean when he said allegedly that he wanted to take a cop off the streets? It appears key witness Janessa Corpus and police had a different interpretation. Trial resumed today for Isizaki, who was charged with conspiracy to commit murder and terrorizing, both as felonies. Corpus returned to the stand for more cross-examination by the defense. Back in February 2012, she reports Isizaki came to her for help with GPD officer Benny Babalta. Specifically, Isizaki stated he wanted, quote, to take him off the streets. Corpus telling jurors today it could be to set a person up to make sure that he is not allowed to be in uniform and patrol our streets and abuses authority, end quote. Isizaki, she said, had strongly believed Babalta had set him up and planted a gun and drugs on him in a previous arrest. A senior officer interpreted differently and believed the statement to be a plot to kill Babalta. She also testified that police at one point accused her of being the mastermind behind the operation. Lieutenant Babalta remains on the force and is assigned to support as the acting division chief. Trial will resume on Wednesday.
Well, a major drug trial got going again in federal court as more testimony was presented, as the case is expected to wrap up a brief sometime as earlier as this week.
Keani Minjola has more in this report from the district court in Anigua.
Taking the witness stand today as the trial of Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser rolls on, the very man in charge of the entire investigation, Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Erful Mataguihan. It was in 2014 that an official investigation into the couple was launched, with the subsequent help of criminal informant Henry Alvindia. Upon direct examination by the defense duo, Peter Perez and David Lujan, the special agent was asked about the plan's entirety leading up to the California arrest in 2015. Mataguihan testified that they had coordinated with California law enforcement to install a tracking device on the couple's vehicle to try and identify the source. However, it was noted that HSI agent Matt Hernandez did not obtain a warrant before he installed the GPS tracker. Additionally, the tracker's installation was not mentioned in the other California law enforcement's investigation reports. On the other hand, when cross-examined by U.S. Assistant Attorney Fred Black, Special Agent Matt Taguihan did positively identify Moser on the surveillance tapes as the one who suggested almost $200,000 in commission for Alvin Diaz's involvement. And based on his knowledge as an agent, the nearly 8 pounds of methamphetamine hydrochloride found would have generated thousands of dollars on the island's streets. Tomorrow, the California officers involved in the investigation will be taking the stand as defense continues to present their case. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Kiani Mendiola.
Continuing our coverage now of the recent matters involving the Chamorro Land Trust Commission, that agency is following the chief executive's recommendation for a temporary halt on the issuance of Chamorro Land Trust leases. Governor Eddie Calvo called for the stoppage on CLTC leases so that agency may address issues in a legal opinion form from the AG. That opinion categorized nearly a quarter of the leases granted for the CLTC's prime property in Barragata Heights to be null and voidable but not void, an issue the CLTC board will address at its board meeting on Thursday. The opinion opens the door for the CLTC board to scrutinize hundreds of leases awarded in other areas of the island to see if they were also awarded by switching places in line or without the board approval of the CLTC. The AG's review of the agency's leasing is ongoing, and you can view more on this story on KUAM.com.
DFS and Lotte Duty Free squared off again in the Superior Court, this time over a DFS complaint that Lotte intentionally interfered when it won a $150 million retail concession contract at the airport. Judge Arthur Barcinas has already ruled in favor of DFS and avoided the agreement. Now DFS contends that because it prevailed, it is entitled to use the same discovery in the interference case. Lotte counters that because it was not a party to the procurement lawsuit, any discovery from the case should not automatically be allowed in the interference case. Lotte argues that if DFS wants to use the documents and testimony, it should go through the entire process. Lotte claims DFS plans to use the discovery to make new claims and add more parties to its interference complaint. It also called the motion unreasonable and the DFS allegations, quote, unfounded, inflammatory, and don't belong in this court, end quote. The discovery in the procurement case remains sealed under a protective order. Meanwhile, the airport has appealed the Barcinas decision to the Supreme Court.
In other island news headlines tonight, a new report released by bond ratings authority Moody's describes the ongoing litigation between DFS and the airport to be credit negative. And that's raised serious concerns from the airport about the impact that it could have on its credit rating. Nestor Lecanto has our next story.
In a May 11 report, Moody's wrote that a loss of the contract with Lotte Duty Free would be credit negative for the airport because a newly procured concession agreement could offer lower annual revenues. It adds that there could be a temporary loss in revenue if Lotte exits the airport before a new public procurement of the contract is completed, and that would put short-term pressure on debt service coverage ratios. In February, Judge Arthur Barcinas voided the airport's $152 million contract with Lotte, but further ruled that the company could stay on until a new bid is awarded. The airport has called the judge's decision a potential financial disaster. The airport said it was also concerned that Lotte was under no obligation to abide by the voided agreement. So in late April, GIAA signed a mediated term sheet that binds Lotte, but at $2 million a year less in rent payments. In a statement Tuesday, Board Chairman Ricardo Dueñas said they are now very concerned that the Moody's report could seriously impact the airport's credit rating, its bond covenants, and signatory airline agreements. Meanwhile, there are two conflicting court motions pending before Barcinas. DFS wants to expedite the rebid of the contract. The airport has filed a motion to stay pending an appeal of Barcinas' decision to the Supreme Court. Barcinas has granted the stay pending his decision on the DFS motion. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Now, one agency in other news made a plea for help to senators during its budget hearing, asking for more personnel to finally get projects going to restore as well as redevelop the island's capital.
Growing frustration during the budget hearing today as government officials admit almost every GovGuam agency is already struggling to exist. Nick Delgado has more.
The master plan has been out for years, but the upgrades and rebuilding of Hagåtña, not so much progress when it comes to proposed changes. Joseph Santos is with the Hagåtña Restoration and Redevelopment Authority. He says he's the lone wolf when it comes to planned projects in the efforts to give the capital a facelift.
We want to build a city, but we want to make sure it's not concrete. We want to make sure that it's beautiful, it's landscaped and beautified, because we want these tourists come to Hagåtña and look at what we have.
The agency making a request before lawmakers for more staff to include a grant writer to bring in more funding. The authority currently gets its money from the Tourist Attraction Fund. Santos expressing frustration during an exchange of words with Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi.
I don't understand why the legislature cannot correct the problem that it caused by removing the funding source from the Hagåtña restoration. We're only getting the tax base out of Hagåtña. We're not asking for the entire island of Guam.
I'm not sure why they did that, but I know that TFF money is going towards the education.
Please,
so that's all I know.
You're insulting me, Senator. I read the I read the Educational Facilities Fund. There's $8 million going directly to the Department of Public Works. There's other millions of dollars going to other agencies. Before this law was passed, Hagåtña Restoration was getting almost $2 million a year.
The Vice Speaker saying she would like to see at least one project done to justify the request for more. Santos says their cries for help have been ignored long enough.
I am frustrated because, you know, when I was growing up, my parents who lived here and grew up here in Hagåtña, and even my grandparents talked about how Hagåtña used to be. It was the center of Chamorro culture or Chamorroness. And right now, it's Tumon that supposedly represents Guam. And it doesn't even represent Guam. You can go to Manila, you can go to Bangkok, you can go to Patika, you can go to Australia, and it's the same hotels and things that are there. Hagåtña is your best bet to market our culture and develop and provide an increased economic base.
He asked for greater enforcement authority to progress the master plan, as he admits he's been operating at bare bones since taking the job. While his request for more staff has been submitted to senators, both ultimately agreed to work together to make it happen.
I think outside of the box, and the bottom line, again, give me a little and I'll give you a lot.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusinik Delgado.
And we do have some melancholy news to pass along to you now, as we have confirmed that former mayor of Tamuning, Frank Blas, passed away. He was 76 and served as the mayor of the Central Village for 8 years from 2005 to 2013. He will be dearly missed by his family as well as his friends, who remember him as a strong, caring citizen of the territory.
We'll have more news after the break, but first we have some inquiries on our Facebook live stream about a pair of accidents that are occurring. Real quickly, an update from the Guam Fire Department. They are responding to a crash along Route 4 near the Chaut Bridge that involves 3 vehicles with injuries. 2 patients were transported to the Guam Memorial Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Traffic is severely being disrupted by that collision. Additionally, GFD is also responding to another car crash involving 2 cars. No injuries are reported thus far along Route 4 near the Hagåtña Library. So if you're traveling through both of those areas, you can expect traffic to be delayed.
Stay tuned. We're back after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
In this divided world, there are still things that unite us. Great music, thrilling games, and the love for that perfect burger. Ruby Tuesday Guam, for the love of burgers menu. For a limited time, get an amazing burger for just $11.99. Lunchtime at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Governor Eddie Calvo has signed Bill 250, authored by Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee. It's now law and is projected to generate up to $4 million in new revenue for the government through increased foreign worker fees on federal construction projects. At a signing ceremony over at GCC, President Mary Okada said the bill was a win-win. The fees will be paid to the Guam Department of Labor and Apprenticeship Training Programs through the Guam Community College, with which to train the local workforce. There is no word at this time from the administration on other bills that are waiting to be signed.
In D18 news, government finances, drugs, and school safety, just some of the topics students at the home of the Geckos asked of the gubernatorial candidates during their forum today.
Also in attendance was our Nick Delgado, who files this report.
Students get candid with the candidates running for Adelup, all 5 gubernatorial teams showing up, nearly all participating with their running mates to take on the questions put together by students at GW High. One by one, each team responded to the multitude of topics. Senator Frank Ogun Jr. asked about his biggest priority and the challenge he would take on if elected.
One of the issues that I want to ensure that we also address at the forefront is pulling all of our law enforcement community together and making sure that this war on drugs, this war on ICE is addressed immediately, because it affects every single citizen, every single resident here in our island.
For former Governor Carl Gutierrez, students had concern over DOE's current redistricting plans.
I think that the students and the parents should be really involved if they start to come up with a districting plan, and get involved, because we don't know how those people in the Department of Education feel about and what their concept is about districting. If it's just strictly to save money and forget about the cultural ties and family ties of people in the villages, then it's not right.
Each one asked how they would fill the role as the island's governor, former Senator Luliang Guerrero saying she wants to leave behind a legacy that promotes safety.
When I say a government and a Guam that is safe, I want every one of us to feel safe in their homes. I want every one of us to feel safe in your schools. I want every one of us to feel safe when they're driving home. Right now, if you ask people out there, and we have asked them in our listening tours, do you feel safe? They say no.
Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. also asked about what he would do to improve public education.
Look at how it's going to adapt to our students, how it's going to adapt to our learning. The way we've been doing education may not be how. You know, it is time now to educate our kids, because with all the technology that's happening, and so that's one of the things that we're going to be able to do.
While Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio had the question regarding tax increases.
It comes down to money. You don't get anything done without money. In our community, in your households, no one wants to raise taxes. No one ever wants to raise taxes. I'm conservative. I believe in spending as little as possible. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we make ends meet. We've done very good. This economy is growing. The island has grown.
Each candidate also speaking on other issues like medicinal marijuana, Guam's gun laws, and government transparency. All 5 closing out by expressing how they plan to lead the island. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Well, my friends, trust us when we tell you that that was but a fraction of the event at the home of the Geckos today, and you can watch the gubernatorial forum in its entirety. Just check us out at KUAM.com/Facebook or KUAM.com/YouTube.
After extensive interviews with the 9 semifinalists, 3 stood out to the Presidential Search Committee. Officials say the finalists will be invited to visit the university campus to meet with students, faculty, the Board of Regents, and interim president Dr. Robert Underwood, who is set to retire next month. The finalists have not yet been identified. The dates of their visit have yet to be announced, but Chairman William Leon Guerrero confirms the board will make an offer to their candidate of choice after each visit is made. Meantime, a resolution presentation was also held Tuesday afternoon at the Guam Congress Building to recognize Dr. Underwood for his 29 years of service with the government and the university.
Well, walking this back to matters affecting high school once again, students at the home of the Sharks up in Jigo have been waiting for years to rebuild Simon Sanchez High School's campus. And while that process is under protest, community partners today unveiled a new addition to the gym at the rather dilapidated Jigo campus.
Carmen Terlahi has a story.
A room worth its weight in gold. Community partners like Robert Santos, general manager with West Pacific Concrete, opened a brand new weight room at Simon Sanchez High School. Santos, a Sanchez alumni, says students have waited too long to see school improvements, which is why the community is stepping up to do the heavy lifting.
Students here at Simon Sanchez have done phenomenal things, even with a very poor school condition, but yet they're still thriving and doing what they need to do. So as community businesses, we decided to come together and help them in the meantime until that school gets built.
The weight room is to encourage athletic students like Willie Booker, who plays rugby, volleyball, paddling, and football. Now a senior at Simon Sanchez High, he remembers the old weight room was falling apart.
The equipment was really old, and you could actually touch it and then touch the weights, and then rust will go in your hands. It's a good start. We need projects like this to get the word out that Sanchez really does need a rebuild.
Santos says he estimates the project cost $20,000, a small price to pay for extracurriculars that often go unfunded. As a former football player, he says there are lessons to be learned on the field.
You learn a lot playing sports, and if you take care of yourself, eventually you take care of those that are around you, you'll take care of your island, and so just to promote healthier living.
Also adding he's looking forward to the next time they'll donate to the Simon Sanchez community. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Now, one of the world's leading ocean carriers in business news is marking a major milestone this week as American President Line celebrates its 100th voyage servicing Guam and Saipan with one of its heaviest loads to date, more than 400 containers. That's a lot. APL returned service to Guam and Saipan on New Year's Day of 2016, and a year later, the company added a second ship for weekly service. Now, according to APL, it's through their prospering local business partners and strong support that the company is able to achieve this milestone. The company continues to deliver on their guarantee to seamlessly connect customers with the mainland or anywhere else in the company's global network.
Congratulations. Stay tuned. Sports is next, but first, here's weather.
Smartphone Super Sale Event. Enjoy huge savings on our most popular Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But this offer won't last long, so drop into a GTA store today.
Our mighty SUV Mega Sale is going on now at Cars Plus, and you're going to save big. With cash back on every purchase, get to Cars Plus and shop our great selection of Hyundai Santa Fe's, Tucsons, and the all-new Kona, Guam's most affordable SUV. Or our full line of Jeeps, like a new Jeep Renegade, save $6,000. Or a new Jeep Cherokee, save $4,500, with rates as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. It's Cars Plus, mighty SUV Mega Sale. Cars Plus, driven by you.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family.
We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. We'll get the show started tonight with some track and field footage from JFK. Check it out. IIAG High School track and field results. Boys 3,000 meters. First place went to Ryan Kent from JFK with a time of 10:21.21. Second place was Kyle De Los Santos at 10:21.54 from Ukadu. Nicholas Keefe came in third for Guam High at 10:23. Jeremiah Rosario was in fourth at 10:31 for the JFK Islanders. Boys discus, Matthew Angeles, 29.8 meters from Ukadu placed first. Second place went to Julian Frost at 26.19 meters from Guam High. Southern High's Dominic Rohr placed third, while fourth place went to Kyron Hood from Guam High. Girls shot put Narissa Blas from JFK with a distance of 7.27 meters was good enough for first. Second place went to Alexandra Cruz from Ukadu at 6.71 meters. Charlene Espinoza from JFK placed third at 6.51 meters. Charmaine Espinoza placed fourth from JFK at 6.34 meters. Girls 100-meter hurdles, Kiana Rivera from JFK came in first at 18.6. Taya Mendiola placed second from Simon Sanchez at 19.01. Ross Irish Gonzalez placed third from Ukadu at 19.13. Skylar Leffingwell from Guam High placed fourth at 19.42. The UOG Tritons Athletics will host the IIAG Boys High School Volleyball All-Star Game tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. The teams were chosen from this year's IIAG All-Island selections, and the coaches were picked from the final four teams in the IIAG Boys Volleyball Championship. The teams were divided to keep the different high school teams separated as best as possible. Team Hacha will be coached by Steve Pangilinan from FD. Brandon Pegarito from Harvest will be the assistant coach. Team Hugua will be coached by Rodney Palma from Teason High School. Mike Robigo will assist from Notre Dame. All the All-Stars will receive a T-shirt for their participation, and the game will be shown live on the UOG Triton Athletic YouTube page. The match will be saved to the page to help the All-Stars be seen by college coaches. Admission to the match is $5 for adults, $3 for seniors and students. Children 5 and under get in for free. The 12th annual Agate Mango Festival 2K 5K run is scheduled for May 19th at the Agate Mayor's office. The race starts and ends at the Agate Mayor's office in Agate. Turnaround is at the Agate Marina Bay. Showtime 5 in the morning. Go time scheduled for 6. You can register at the Agate Mayor's office from 8 to 5 p.m. The fee is $10 per runner and $35 for a family of 5. T-shirts, prizes, and refreshments available. For more info, email agatemangofest@gmail.com. To volunteer, call 565-4330. Guam has improved its World Rugby rankings to its highest ever, level of 69, following the team's wins over World Rugby members Brunei and China at the Asian Rugby Championships Division III tournament held last week. Congrats to the team again for winning the tournament and their new ranking. Well, that's going to do it for sports.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ooh, what do we have here? Tender morsels of deliciousness. Wait, back that up. I see you, your little golden brown temptresses, and oh, all that juicy goodness. Wait, is that a new sauce? Where are my car keys? I'm on my way, Mickey D's.
Introducing McDonald's new Buttermilk Crispy Tenders, juicy and breaded to perfection. Hurry in and get 4 for you or 10 to share.
That's right. My Tinder game just got an upgrade. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Summer's right around the corner, but first shift into spring with Triple J. With 0 down, 1.9% financing, and easy trade-in. Get into our big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $298 per paycheck. Car and drivers, 10 best. Mazda CX-9 at $242 per paycheck. The Mazda 3 sedan at only $137 per paycheck. Or the North American Car of the Year, the 2018 Honda Accord at only $216 per paycheck. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
All right, we have a special treat for all of you. Hey, it's the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, and I believe you get one and I get one, right?
Sure do.
All right, here we go. First off, happy birthday to Joey Kanata, currently residing in your home state of Oklahoma. We miss and love you very much, and we wish you many more beautiful days to come. It says your Guam familia.
And happy birthday to Randy Rivera.
All right, happy birthday to Mark Anthony. No, not that Mark Anthony, and assumedly not the Mark Anthony. This is Mark Anthony Imbat. Happy birthday to you, Mark.
And a happy belated birthday going out to Hosea Luke Gogui. May God bless and protect you. We all love you.
Okay, and when I said there's one for you and one for me, that was actually two for you.
Yep.
And two for me. Thanks,
I know.
Whisper.
Just didn't want to correct you.
All right. That is going to do it for our show. Stay tuned. More coming up after this.
Bye.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by